We had lots of friends who did lots of stuff, but we all forgot what it was, except for this one thing I just randomly remembered. Okay, so this is the story of how Wes tried to go Super Saiyan and how we discovered that JM doesn't understand what Pig Latin is. So we're all in high school, circa 2000-something-ish, and we're all huge band nerds, so in between classes we're always hanging out in the band room goofing off on random instruments. So Wes and JM, who are both trombone players, were in the instrument room practicing paradiddles on the marching snares. Then Wes starts talking about how he's been researching biochemistry, and he's convinced you can actually go Super Saiyan in real life by learning to control your adrenaline. So of course he decides that he wants to try it there at school, with the band room full of people. Even though if he really went Super Saiyan, it would probably destroy everything. So JM's standing by the door, keeping a lookout for Mr. Hudson. J-Hud! And Wes stands up in the middle of the room and starts trying to power up.
His fists are clenched and every muscle is straining. He's growling viciously as he tries to make himself so angry that he surpasses normal human limitations and becomes a legend. You can see an uncontrollable fury building in his eyes, like a fat kid realizing someone ate his last cupcake.
JM is fascinated and has completely forgotten at this point to keep watch and just barely notices Mr. Hudson crossing the band room towards them. So JM whips around and yells frantically, "Ixnay on the Hudson Bay!" And everyone freezes and just stares at JM in confusion, while JM thinks to himself, "Oh crap, maybe they don't know Pig Latin." So JM runs over and grabs a pair of drumsticks and some random sheet music and pretends to be practicing just as Mr. Hudson walks in to see Wes panting and covered in sweat, with Eric and Andrew and Daniel looking guilty like they just want to run and hide, and JM being the good student he always is, practicing away and ignoring the shenanigans around him. Well, luckily for us, J-Hud apparently didn't want to know what Wes was panting and sweating over, because he just sighed sadly and walked back out again. Side note, it's actually a lucky thing that Wes got interrupted because we had no plans on proving he had achieved Super Saiyan strength, so he probably would have just started randomly pummeling stuff in a blind rage until he broke a knuckle. And that's the story of how everyone learned JM didn't have a clue what Pig Latin actually meant, but he was really good at keeping himself out of trouble.
And that Goku is the one, the only Super Saiyan.